Hello, this is joannacholuj, and this is the review of the TEDx talk by Jeremy Heimans. The title was Point by Point. The title was New Power. Now I will say it. I will give you the review like point by point, but the general idea is this opposition that he gives: new power versus old power. Now he says that the old power, it was like mm, the old civilization, that everything was like kind of even, or it was like by order, or that it was like a command. Now he goes on by talking. He goes on to talking about the new power, and how transformative it is, and how he sees it. Basically, he talks. His point is that everything changes with the digital age, and the influence of the digital age. So he talks about some movements and brands and how the new ideas spread, and how they are driven by communities, and it's kind of from the bottom up, and not done by some institutions or authorities. And this is his idea of the new power. Could say it's like more democratic. Um, Now he basically talks about the rise of those platforms. So basically, also about social media, and those are those. Uh, you can call it like a participation-driven platforms where you can participate, like forums, and you can basically be a part of this big creation of the big movement, right? A big power. And he go on talking about this big ability to activate crowds, and just broadcasting to them. So he's talking about lives, for example, transmissions, but also basically how the news spreads. Then his final point is, final, yeah, he slowly goes to the conclusion uh, that it's kind of neutral, but we need to think if it's kind of good or bad, and we should rethink the leadership model, because what is coming is the new power and the new leadership model. So he also observes that slowly in also big companies, there are some successful leaders, and they start to focus on creating, not only demanding or ordering, and the systems are built where people kind of, they don't control each other, but they want to contribute. He talks about that in a positive way. It is positive. He basically goes on to encourage organizations to be more like open and participatory, um, and that this is a good idea, good option to be more collaborative, and use the crowd powered vote. Then there's one point he makes about the transparency, that he says that it's important, the values of talk about values, like, yes, good and bad, and then transparency. And he says that those new power communities, they reward authenticity. So it's important to see that, observe that. Um, Now then, he provides the real examples, like for example, he talks about the Me Too movement, and how widely it spread, how big it was, and then he talks about the ethical responsibility in using power. Basically, his conclusion, his ending is positive. It's an optimistic vision of the future. Now, my opinion is that, I mean, that new power, I would say, can be also used by the old power. So we need to really be careful, because the new power of the internet and communities, those communities are often like activists and very young people. It can also be used, and it can also be dangerous. I see, for example, that the Me Too movement, it went up to the point when it was a little bit absurd. So he's right. He's right. There is this opposition of new power and old power, and kind of the old power of demanding, directly ordering is going away, and there's a new power. But we should think, like, isn't sometimes that the old power can kind of use and manipulate the new power of young people and medias. That's all about from me. That's all from me. That's all about it.